Welcome to the season finale of the Golden Bachelorette. Joan versus the men. Well, it really wasn't. It wasn't confrontational. I'm
Right.
kind of making that up. But anyway, it was the season finale, and it was a little bit of a shocker. You know how they always say, the most shocking episode.
Oh, yeah.
This was a little bit. A little, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, considering kind of what was leading up to it. Ladies to Question are here and checked in. Start off with a little bit of a preview. The beach shot, her in that. I like that dress that she was wearing.
Gorgeous.
It was just, yeah.
It was flattering. It fit her perfectly.
Yeah.
Like her figure and...
Was that beadwork on the
It
front?
looked like beadwork where the flowers were?
Yeah, the flower. Or
I
was
think-
that sequins? I didn't see it. It wasn't shiny.
Sequins on the dress.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, on the dress.
Yeah, I don't know about the flowers. I think they had to be some kind of sequins, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm,
I
to
don't
blend in,
know. But
yeah.
it wasn't super shiny or anything, in which a lot of times, wouldn't that be? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I thought it was a pretty dress, and you
Yes.
did too. So there. And she wore it beautifully, as usual.
Yes.
Okay, so we go to
Live.
crowd shot. Yeah, the live shot.
The live audience.
Yeah, live
And-
audience. And I saw Jack and Charles, Susan and Kathy. And my first thing when they were showing Charles, I went, oh my God, the hair. He must be dyeing it every day because it's jet black with no
Yeah.
nuance of anything except for just a little bit in his sideburns. Just a little bit. It looked weird.
I think he thinks he looks hot.
I know, and he probably does.
He's confident. I think he's more confident and he's really happy.
Okay, except the charm of him, the charm of Charles to me was him being himself and not
That's true. Now
doing
he's
that
going
kind of
Hollywood.
Yeah, and that detracts for me a little bit. Doesn't take anything away from him. He's wonderful, but I just kind of looked at that and went, "Oh, Charles, babe,
Yeah.
going Hollywood.
Who
that's
is
perfect."
coaching you?
Yeah, because tell him to back off. Okay, so then they show Joan bemoaning.
Okay, back up.
Yeah,
Susan sitting next to Jack. I think they're a perfect couple.
do you think
Did you see that?
maybe that's one of the fix-ups?
Maybe because they have that same kind of grit of personality.
Bluster
And I was like, oh,
Yeah, they're
that
both-
makes sense.
they're both loud.
So I was thinking, okay, maybe they're hooking up. And
They're both rough around the edges.
yes,
a little bit.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that struck me when they did the audience shot.
I didn't even think of that.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, Nancy was there too. She was in the crowd, of course.
She was next to Susan on the other side.
Oh, okay. Well, you're much more observant tonight.
Well, I was kind of taking notes because I wanted to see how they mixed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you noticed it more than I did.
Okay.
Wow. Kathy and...
No, Susan and Jack.
Oh, Susan. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Susan and Jack.
Yeah.
It does seem kind of perfect.
it
She lives
does.
on the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's in Chicago,
Yes,
so
not very
geographically
far.
not terribly
Not terrible.
GU, right?
Right.
Okay, so then Joan, they show Joan bemoaning Pascal's rejection.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta say, I was a little surprised by how much she was dwelling on that.
I know. She was like, I'm the victim. I'm not
Yeah.
lovable. And Nancy had to come in and coach her through her emotions and her thinking that she's the victim.
Yeah.
And it was just a little much.
It didn't sit perfectly with me. It didn't sit right. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I think I know why in retrospect, but we're not quite there yet. But she was crying about her husband again, and I kept thinking, oh my gosh,
know.
is this woman really ready? I don't know.
Right, exactly.
I mean, everyone's going to have a teary moment, but she's had a lot of them. So anyway.
I thought one thing was really funny, and I don't know why. Jessie, before we go to the ship to see Joan in her beautiful gown, she goes, well, they find their happy ending. And I always think, what do you always think of when they say that?
Snow White? I don't know.
Okay. I'm
wait, they're-
way off base.
Wait,
You always say happy ending. Did you get a massage? Did you
Oh,
get a happy
oh,
ending?
You like happy ending?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, God.
And I go, oh God, why did he says that all the time? And their happy ending. And I go, oh, God. Okay, maybe it's just my male brain in me. I feel like I have a male brain half the time.
I must be off my game now there, too. It didn't even... I was like going, oh, happy ending. Okay, yeah, fairy tale, blah, blah, blah.
And I'm thinking all these sexual thoughts. Okay, moving along.
Okay. The thing that occurred to me when Nancy was talking to her was, and Joan is sort of really beating herself up, and I thought, she's too nice to be on this show. I almost feel less guilty watching a show, which I don't watch those housewife shows. Mm-hmm. I've watched them a little bit here and there, like during the pandemic, I watched a couple, but I didn't feel guilty because all those people are really kind of miserable people. I don't really like any of the people on those shows. And they're all either spoiled or nasty or both. I don't know.
Right.
But I feel bad about Joan.
I know.
Like she's too nice to be on a show where your heartstrings are being tugged. You're having a tough night, Bunky, right?
I'm okay.
Okay, just so you know, listeners, our girl has a cold and a pretty bad cough. So if she does, just excuse her. She's toughed out to be here. Yeah. Say go to Bora Bora. Oh, and your list?
Bucket. Yep.
Well, it's just close to Tahiti. It's just northwest.
Right. So they hopscotched from Tahiti because they started there on the boat that they keep advertising as
Windstar
the
Cruise?
Star Breeze Windstar Cruises.
Oh, Star.
I wrote it
wow.
down.
Oh my God, you're so
Well,
detailed.
because they had
I love
to
it.
plug that because it was probably free. The boat was empty the
of
entire time
course.
again.
Of course.
Like weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. So her family arrives, and here's where I got a little confused. I thought 3 people. It was the daughter, the eldest son, and fiance.
Right.
Okay, so all right, because I thought I saw 2 males.
I thought I saw 2 males too.
Yeah,
Now that I think about it.
in that shot later on when they do a pullout.
No, there was a son-in-law.
Oh,
That's right. There was a son-in-law.
okay, so that's who, and he was not on camera.
No.
No. Okay, got it. Okay, well that explains the mystery.
Okay, so my question is, they didn't meet during hometown visits?
Well, hometown visit was Joan going to the guys' houses.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was all confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I thought the son was kind of skeptical. He was giving a little side eye, and then the daughter said, "Oh, I always think of Dad as your husband from above," and I'm thinking, "Oh my God,
Oh God, why'd you say that?
they're putting the golden handcuffs on her," like, "Oh, Dad," but I'm glad they were skeptical. That means they care and they want their mom to be safe and happy.
Yeah, that's true.
But
He was tough.
and then
Chock
Chock comes in. Did you see when he kissed her? The kids did not like that. At least the reaction shot that maybe the editors put together. They didn't like that.
No, they didn't.
So you picked up on that too.
Yes.
Yeah. And I thought,
That's
Chock,
just kind of.
why did you do that?
Yeah.
You know what?
He just comes on so strong, but she likes it,
Yeah.
obviously. So
That was just the wrong place, wrong time, I thought. But I guess they seemed to end up liking it. It seemed like the conversation went okay.
I even wrote that down. The kids seem to not like the kiss.
Oh, good. Well,
I'm just not keeping up with my notes.
Well, I thought it was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Guy said, the son said, he goes, well, he seems like a good person, right? Yeah.
He did come around.
I don't know. And the daughter was just sort of accepting. I don't think she really said anything.
No.
That they didn't put that in. And then the son tells Joan that he likes Brock. I was struck by how kind and supportive they were to their mom.
Yeah.
Did you notice
very
that?
much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tight group.
It is. And she's obviously done a lot for them.
Well, she seems like a pretty great mom. Yeah. Do you have anything else on that part? Because otherwise,
And then they go to the
Chock and the Joan.
they go to the date.
Right. Chock-Full-o-Nuts and Joan go on a date.
Right.
And the first thing practically seems like he asks her, do you feel good with this? And he gets all intense, that intense thing.
Oh,
He like does that lean in. Do you feel good with this?
Yeah,
And I
he's
went,
just-
oh my God, dude.
Ugh. I need space. I couldn't have a man that was always like kind of hovering, cuddling, always.
Yeah. And pressuring. I thought there was a little
Yeah,
bit of pressure.
I do too.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, I have a present for you. WTF?
I know. I couldn't believe that.
I mean, it was a heart keychain
Keychain.
with the key. And I'm looking at that, I'm going, if he already bought that,
Yeah.
that's it was key to an apartment in New York City.
Right,
Because
right.
it said that in the note, right?
And I say, he's trying to buy her love.
Well, I thought it was presumptuous if he had
Yes.
already done that. If it was just, I mean, I know he's been very successful. He's a very aggressive guy. So I'm sure he's really aggressive in business, which is probably why he's so
Yeah.
successful. But I thought, whoa, A New York City apartment.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing.
And I'm thinking, I guess, I don't remember her saying, oh, I always wanted an apartment in New York City.
Maybe it was in a private conversation.
Right.
Who knows?
But that, first of all, I was surprised the show allows that.
Allows.
Well, hey, here's an apartment. Are you going to choose me?
Oh, well.
Oh, here's a car. You're going to choose me?
Yeah,
I
that I interpreted it that way too. Maybe other people didn't. I don't.
Yeah.
It sure.
That would almost
seemed-
turn me off.
Yeah, like I would feel. Yeah, I would feel like you're trying to buy me.
Pressure.
Yeah, the pressure. I would not
Yeah.
like the pressure. Well, anyway, he looks kind of creepy sometimes when he leans in. Do you ever notice
Yeah,
that? Like
yeah.
sort of leers a little bit, like
Yeah.
and that maybe that's just his look. I don't know.
It just comes off as so possessive.
Yes, possessive. That's it. That's what it
Yes.
is. And it almost felt like he was waiting for her to say, "I love you" back when he kept saying that.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you. Because he's used to winning, and he felt like I got to win this one.
Right.
You know. So you thought that too, good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I feel like I'm overreacting.
No. I even thought it a couple times that when she didn't say the L word, she was kind of getting nervous about her decision.
But yeah.
Like she didn't look like she was all in just from her.
Her body language. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Because she kind of leaned back and went,
Yeah.
and sort of nodded her head with that.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called, a Duchenne smile or whatever it's called. It's like a forced smile, but you don't really mean it.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
It looks so fake.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, that's all I have on that. Anything?
That is it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I was
So?
just double checking.
Yeah. So Guy and his date.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh, boy.
the date that wouldn't happen. Whoa.
Yeah.
I thought it was very sensitive of her to do that. I was a little surprised.
Well, she's supposed to go see Guy.
Right. Well, she does go see him, but she's already not wearing anything enticing. She's kind
Right.
of wearing just a top and some jeans.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, It didn't help that it was a rainy day.
Oh, I
thought
know.
that
It
really,
was so sad.
I made,
So let's go with it.
they show him saying he was, I actually feel in love. Was that, did he say that?
Guy now has fallen in love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here he comes. Oh, no. Okay.
And then her tone, just even when she entered the room, she's like, "Oh, that's so great. That's so great." Like, as if you would greet somebody who was just your friend, you know?
Right. Well, right when she said, "You're supposed to meet my family." The
Right.
supposed to. I'm like, okay,
Right.
that was it.
Right. Because he had no idea what was coming. And then
Right.
sort of you could see that his face drop a little bit.
Oh,
Like,
and he was so excited. He was prepping and
I know.
spraying the cologne, and he was, oh, God.
I know. I'll tell you, my heart broke a little bit for him.
Yeah.
And when she says, "My heart belongs to someone else," he was crushed.
You could just see the blood rush out of his
Yeah.
face.
Yes.
And oh, boy, he was very emotional.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he was sobbing
Oh,
when she was
yeah.
holding him
Right. For a long time.
a long time.
Yeah.
And who knows, they probably cut the scene
I-
too.
yep.
I would hope so for his sake.
Right.
Yeah. It was very unexpected. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. He was thrown for a loop, and he really thought he was going to be
It.
with Joan. Yeah.
So then they go to the guy on the set, on the live set of the.
Oh, right. I
Yeah.
know. That was even
Yeah.
hard to watch.
It was the face to face with Joan. They bring her out,
Yeah.
and he just. It seemed like it all came back to him,
Right.
didn't it?
Mm-hmm. He was
Yeah.
crying again.
But then she says, "It was hard to be away from you."
Right.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And
And
it was hard to be
yeah.
away from you. And then, we'll be friends. And
yeah, you will always be a part of my life. Okay, that was weird.
I don't think
no.
so. I mean, yeah, in your past.
Right. Exactly. So
And then something about a double date, too. Didn't
Yeah.
she say that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
well,
don't
I'm not
know.
worried about Guy in the long run. He's a good-looking guy. He's a doctor. He is going to have girls and women chasing him up and down every street.
Absolutely. He will. I'm not
will,
worried about
yeah.
that. And he's charming and he's polite.
Right.
Nice manners. So anyway, that was really all I took away from that because my heart was sort of aching for him.
I know.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
Okay, so it's proposal time.
Yep.
And old Chock, Oh, he's ready.
Oh, yeah.
Ready.
He is buttoned up and putting his suit, his Sunday best on.
It was a nice suit, I gotta
he
say.
did look
He
good
looked pretty
yeah,
good.
I agree.
Even though I don't find him attractive at all.
No.
But he jumps right in, man.
Yep.
And he had barely walked up and, grabbed her, then he jumped right in with his overture to the proposal. I mean, right? Didn't he?
Well,
Didn't it seem
they
like?
gave each other speeches.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
he started jumping right in.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And then, boom.
Or no, excuse me. He spoke. Then she did. Then she started doing her speech. And he cut her off.
Oh, I didn't notice
Yeah,
that.
he cut her off so he could actually do the proposal.
Oh, wow.
I thought, wow, he really does like to win because he wanted to, where's this going? I want to make sure it goes my way.
Being in charge, kind of controlling a little bit. I see that. Yeah, I totally see a control factor.
Yeah, controlling and possessive.
I think he lives his life like very structured. This is what I do. Like not go with the flow-ish.
Yeah.
And
He wants to know what's going to happen.
I don't know how it's going to work out in the long run.
Yeah.
She seems a little more flexible, and he's like, nope, got to be there at 8:00, or got to do this.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
And
Yeah. We'll have to do a post-mortem on them in a couple months.
yeah, exactly.
Or whenever.
Oh gosh.
And then they call Mary, her mom, and she says, I'm here with my fiance. And Mary kind of is like, oh.
Yeah.
She seems like a sweet lady.
Oh, she does.
Then really the cut to the live set again.
Yeah, and then they
right?
show the audience, and they keep showing Charles.
Yeah.
He's like,
and his bad
this
hair.
This is great.
Oh God. The happy couple comes out. I loved her outfit. That gold top.
God, that
and those
looked great.
beautiful, what were they, palazzo pants or just wide leg? I don't know.
I
what
don't know. I thought
they
it was
were.
a split skirt.
Oh, split skirt. Oh, okay.
But it was split.
Oh, that was it. It was split at the from the knee
It
down
showed
or
her
something.
legs, and she has great legs.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed about her whole the whole feel of her? She seemed relaxed finally.
Yes, she did.
Did you? I mean,
Like
you
she
noticed
wasn't
that?
tense. Well, they had spent some time together,
Yeah.
and so I feel like she got to know him, and she liked what she got to know.
Yeah.
Great, that's great.
She seemed relaxed for the first time ever.
Yeah, because she's always a little standoffish, and you can't completely read her. But when you read her, it's always a little more negative than positive.
Well, because she seems tense and holding back and unsure and not completely happy. And she was 180
Oh yeah,
of that particular kind of attitude, I
yeah.
thought.
She just probably wasn't totally comfortable filming all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who is, then
Yeah.
they're in the wrong business because they should
shouldn't
probably be
apply for the
acting.
show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they should be, they do something on camera if that's what you're loving so much. You talked about their 5 secret rendezvous.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all those pictures. Oh, didn't you think that crazy about you montage? When
Oh yeah, that was so funny.
that was
I'm crazy about you. Don't crazy about you. Don't. I'm crazy about you.
don't you know I'm crazy about you?
Yeah. It's like, okay.
There were about 50 of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. That's his tagline. The big surprise. What'd you think about that? Well, Jesse's like, we have a big surprise for you.
Oh yeah. They're going to Disney World. Yeah.
ABC owns the company, so it's a freebie.
Yeah.
It's a promo.
But they did have all of their family there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there were a lot of kids and grandkids. Well, kids, yeah. I mean,
he has any grandchildren yet.
no. Okay,
Yeah.
well, there were grandkids and there were the whole family, both of their families, right?
Right.
So
right.
it could be a nice bonding experience for them, or it could be
Herding
a hellish
kittens.
nightmare.
Yeah, I'm like herding kittens. I mean, I just think it's too much.
Yeah.
You get like, I don't know, 15 people together. Oh, God. At
Yeah.
Disney World. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're going.
They're going, so.
And I wonder if they're going to film it. The one thing
Oh, yeah, I bet they will.
Oh, I bet they will. And they'll use it for promos and ads, and they'll milk that thing to
Yep.
the 11th hour. But they didn't say anything about a wedding.
No.
I kept waiting for that.
No, they didn't. And I thought that was probably a healthy move. You know, like I thought, oh, that's good. They aren't feeling pressured by anybody, or they didn't, if they were feeling pressured, they didn't announce anything. They just seems like they were enjoying each other.
Right.
Because that's just dumb. And they're probably trying to learn from what happened with, Turdner.
Exactly.
And,
like
whatever her name was.
when they got married way too fast.
Yeah.
And they probably would have broken up. So they're probably like, okay, we'll give them a year or whatever. My big question is, will Joan move to Kansas?
I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
No way.
But I don't see him leaving Kansas.
No, he's got his businesses
His
there.
roots are there, and
Yeah.
he loves his Kansas.
Well, maybe that's why the NYC apartment, New York City,
Oh.
Wichita, Maryland, NYC. It's a pretty exciting place to be.
Oh, they'll rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
That was what? Okay, you got it.
Yeah. I mean, that just made sense to me. Right?
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
because,
But how could you be a married couple and I don't know.
well, maybe,
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to know.
yeah, well, I'm sure it'll be in the tabloids.
Yes.
Do they even have tabloids anymore? Yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
One thing that bugged me, I know that's the very end of the show, but it bugged me that there they were having these moments, and it was right after the Crazy About You montage, and they were just sort of having these nice moments and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, Jesse's got to talk about this. He's got to talk about this
Yeah.
college playoff promo.
I thought that they were going to go to a game or something or be announcers or throw out the first ball or do something, and then he's just promoting it.
And he's like pointing to that,
Trophy.
And I thought that was just the dumbest.
So dumb. It did not fit in. Was
No.
it just promoting ABC?
Yeah.
Had that contract for those games.
Right. But it was so awkward and
know.
misplaced.
Yeah.
God, we are really ripping the crap out of this show today.
Well, there's things to rip.
Well,
legit.
There are. And we've been
Yeah.
pretty damn complimentary along the way before
Right. Because
this.
we loved the guys and they loved each other, and that was all good.
Yeah. There were just a couple things that rubbed me the wrong way, and that one was it.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. That was, yeah.
But back to the Disneyland thing and the end of the show, the family seemed really excited about it, and that's really what matters.
Right.
Not-
And they seem like they've really gotten closer.
You mean,
Joan and Chock.
well, I would hope so with the
Well, yeah.
rendezvous.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Well, they seemed more comfortable together. Certainly, as
Yeah.
we said, she was,
And it's almost like she likes him touching her all the time.
and maybe that's how
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
deceased husband, John,
That's
maybe
her-
that's how he was.
Her little love language.
Yeah.
And did you see Gary? He was tearing up.
Gary Bear.
Gary Bear.
I did
God,
see that.
I love Gary Bear. Yeah.
And I'm glad he was there, but it figures he was there because he lives in Los Angeles.
Palm Spring.
Palm
That's okay.
Springs.
Yeah.
Right. And that's right, because you're stalking him and I am too.
Yeah.
So I just forgot.
Hey, Gare.
We love you, Gary.
We do.
So much. Hey, if we ever when we get set up here to do a Zoom call, maybe we can,
my God.
if our stalkings are successful, we'll
Yes.
get him to do
An interview. Maybe we'll even have somebody to fix him up with. Or maybe he's already dating.
Maybe he is already. If he was there, did you see any of the bachelorettes next to him?
No.
You know what I was thinking up? Although I don't see that as a match.
No, I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah,
And I
no,
forgot
no.
her name.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a little too serious.
Maybe her as a match with
Charles?
not Charles.
Oh, okay.
No, the other one. The guy who lives in Iowa. Is it beginning with a J? Well, anyway, he's black and Indian, Native American.
Oh, him. Yes,
and-
yes.
Yeah, the really good looking man.
yeah.
God, how come we can't remember his name? We both were crazy about him.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
And he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, but he didn't say who it was, and I'm thinking, what if he's with her?
Ooh, yeah.
I
Okay.
wonder. Well, anyway, I don't know, but I was thinking that would be an interesting match because they're both really intense.
Right.
She in a different sort of really super intellectual way, and he in a really emotional, intense kind of way. Yeah. So anyway, what are we doing here?
I don't know.
We're crazy.
And then they had to talk about The Bachelor, but I left.
Oh,
I came
didn't-
over here.
I don't
I'm
even
like,
care about
okay,
that.
I know, I don't either.
It's a cute little boy they've got there,
Yeah.
who's going to be the next bachelor. He's
Right.
very cute, but I don't care.
No.
Okay. Anyway, on that lovely, optimistic, happy note, Look, thank you for anyone who's listened as long as they have to this episode. And we love that you are listening. We love any feedback you have for us. Next season begins next week.
Yep.
And it's going to be a whole new bag of worms, as they say, or can of worms. Is that it?
Can of worms,
A whole new
yep.
can of worms. And we have an interesting interview coming up.
Yes,
It'll be a
we do.
two-parter, and that'll start next week.
Okay.
And then we're going to start doing some other things, and we're not exactly sure what those are going to be as well.
Well, send us your ideas of what you want to hear from us. And
Please do.
we love hearing from you. Rate us, review us, sign up to listen. And we will see you next week.
That's right. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Harvey. Ladies Who Question is executive produced and edited by me, Lisa Dominique, and also executive produced by Holly Caulfield. Holly also does most of our research, and Claire Caulfield is in charge of technical assistance and social media. Music, My Lionheart. Sketch music by Florian Manx and Matthew Anderson. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, follow, rate, and review Ladies Who Question on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Send your thoughts to ladieswhoquestion@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and our website, ladieswhoquestion.com.
All content discussed on Ladies Who Question are the opinions of Lisa Dominique and Holly Caulfield and should not be construed as advice of any kind. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as advice of any personal or medical issue for yourself or others. This disclaimer also applies to guests or contributors to the podcast.